Hey guys, today we are going to talk about how to reset your Chrome box or Chrome Flex device. There are, broadly speaking, 3 ways to reset one of these little guys. Your first line of defense is something called Powerwash. We're going to walk through that in a second. The next step, a little bit deeper, is a reset using the pin reset button on your device. If it's a Chrome box, you'll have that option available. And then finally, we'll get into how to reinstall ChromeOS. All 3 of these options are pretty easy to go through, so let's jump to it. So your first line of defense is to do a power wash. That will work as long as your device has an operating system that's still functioning. So if your signage is playing, but it's just not working right, and we've determined that you need a reset, or somehow you can get to this login screen, then the power wash will work for you. So how you get here is to reboot your device. Just unplug it from power for a few seconds, plug it back in. As it's booting up, take your keyboard, whether it's a wireless one with a USB receiver or a wired, good old-fashioned wired keyboard. For these procedures, if you're going to use the keyboard mouse combo unit that came with your player, if it's one of the newer players where we shipped out keyboard with it, the keyboard actually has 2 Alt keys. There's an Alt key and there's an Alt GR key. So when we talk about steps for the power washing or for exiting out of the app launch process, you want to use the Alt GR key. So just substitute that in when you're trying to use that keyboard, and that should work fine for you. And just as it's booting up, just repeatedly press Control Alt and S as in Sam. Control Alt S, just keep pressing those buttons together until it exits out, and you will see a login screen like this, or should. Once you get to this login screen, then you can press, this is a handful, Control, Alt, Shift, and R as in Robert. And it should give you this option here. It says reset this Chrome box, and you can just click on restart and it will start the power washing process. That will take a little bit of time here to reboot, and then when it comes up, you'll confirm the power wash, and we'll go through some steps that we'll see here in a moment. All right, so the device has rebooted now, and so now we're going to actually perform the power wash function by clicking on power wash. Continue, yes. So this will wipe all data off the device, including any stored Wi-Fi networks, and so we'll be able to start from scratch. Okay, now we are back. This is the screen we would see were this a brand new Chrome box that we just received from the manufacturer. I'm actually going to unplug. I've got Ethernet connected right now, but most of you are probably going to be using Wi-Fi, so let's just start like we're using Wi-Fi. So we click on Get Started, and we choose our Wi-Fi network. I'm just going to pick our guest network, but you may have to type in a password if your network requires that. We're going to sign our life away by agreeing to terms of service with Google. From this point forward, it depends what might happen. It should just re-enroll with our Google admin backend and reload the app like this one just did here, and we can just hit done, and what's going to happen is it'll launch the app and it will give us a fresh registration code, which you'll then need to type into your account as if this were a brand new player. You can do that by clicking the play icon on the channel you wish to run from your dashboard. Just scroll down to the bottom of the dashboard and hit the play button and choose on a new playback device, type in the registration code we're going to see, give it a name. You can also visit the players section of settings where you'll see your old registration for this player, and you can delete that and just type in this code, give it a name, pick the channel for it, and it'll start running again. Sometimes when we go through this power washing process, it will ask you to enter in the credentials again. And so if you get to a login screen, then you want to press Control-Alt-E or choose for work. There's different interfaces depending on the version of Chrome that you have and which device model you have. But basically, you want to get to a login screen. It needs to say Enterprise Enrollment at the top, which if it doesn't, you can just press Control-Alt-E as in Edward, and then type in players@smartsign2go.com, password of happy players with a capital H, all one word, happy players with a capital H. And then that would take us to this same screen. So a couple different pathways depending on if your device behaves itself or what Google's decided for the flow to be with that device. That's the power wash sequence.